Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host, the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. Alright, so once again, we're going to be starting up actually a little bit earlier this week than we were originally planning, but we managed to squeeze out a little bit of time this morning to get started with this week's stream. But what exactly are we going to be streaming today? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's just jump into it right now and show you exactly what we're going to be playing with today. Okay? So without further ado, join me today again in the Brawl format as we continue our deep dive into Secrets of Strixhaven. And we're going to try to do at least one live stream of each of the colleges, while also we're still going to do one deck tech each. So this time we're going to jump back over to Witherbloom because we had a fun little card here that's absolutely adorable to build around. This is going to be our Pest Fest, everybody. Blec Loafing Pest is leading our charge here with all these cute little critters. Hopefully we're going to be able to pump them up, go super big, and go super wide. So before we get started with this, the way we're going to be walking you through this, of course, we'll be going over the stats in just a second. We'll go over every single card we can, and then we'll play as many matches as possible in the Brawl format on a budget. Keep in mind your level here. Do not worry, we'll of course have the... Wait, hold on one second. Ooh. Did we have like a little hiccup there? Oh, okay. Okay, looks like the hiccup is gone. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. But otherwise... we're going to be trying to then play this, of course, on a budget, but if you do like what the deck is trying to do, we'll then be playing it on non-budget halfway through the stream itself. All right, so now that we kind of have that out of the way for a second there, we'll now go over, of course, the actual deck stats itself. Long-time viewers of this channel know how we do it. We got to talk about the stats of the deck before we get started. So, Pest Fest here is going to be Golgari colors, or I guess now that it's the college, what is it, Witherbloom? There we go, that's what it is. So, Witherbloom colors of black and green. Average mana curve for the whole deck is going to be about 2.5. I'll be rocking a total of 26 creatures in the deck. We have 13 instants, 15 sorceries, 7 artifacts, 5 enchantments, and 34 lands. So, now as far as the way this deck goes, let's actually now cover really briefly how this is going to go with Blec Loafing Pest. Oh, look at how cute he is. Yes, I know he actually looks disgusting, but I think he has a little bit of a cute charm to him. So Blec Loafing Pest here is a 3-mana card. It's a 3/4. He's a legendary creature, Pest. And it says, whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each pest, bat, insect, snake, and spider you control. So literally every kind of creepy crawly you can think of, he will definitely pump up and power up and make them even stronger. So that's actually a pretty sweet little commander that kind of nicely loops together a lot of the... not so heavily supported creature types out there, which is kind of cool. I like that. I like what that could do. So Blec here, the whole game plan, of course, is, again, just want to keep gaining life, going super wide with a bunch of these creatures, and hopefully that should be enough to just blow away our opponents. So in order to do that, however, let's cover now the deck itself in depth. So starting at the top here, we have Annihilating Glare. This allows us to either sacrifice a creature, pay the extra 4 to destroy a creature or planeswalker. We also are going to be utilizing our Bloodchief's Thirst. Wait, hold on one second. Oh dear. Okay. We'll deal with that little spam in just a second here, everybody. All right. Bloodchief's Thirst here, allowing us to do 2 damage. Destroy a creature with a mana value of 2 or less. If the spell was kicked, however, you can destroy a creature planeswalker. We have Changeling Outcast here. This also allows us to make sure that a creature can't be blocked, or it can, but it can't block itself. So just be aware of that. We have Cling to Dust here as another one of our spells that allows us to then just exile a creature or a card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, however, we can gain 3 life. Otherwise, we simply draw a card. You can also escape it for using 4 mana and exiling 5 other cards from your graveyard. Fatal Pushout is another great spot removal card for us to destroy a creature with a mana value of 2 or less, but we can also trigger Revolt to then destroy a creature of 4 mana value or less. If we need to bring back something from the graveyard and reuse it again, we have Urborg Repossession here. We can use this to bring back a creature card from our graveyard to our hand, and we can gain 2 life. However, if we manage to kick the spell, bring this permanent card back in addition to the other card as well. So get 2 for 1. And then one of our flip cards here from the original Strixhaven set, we also have Valentine, Dean of the Vein, and Lizette, Dean of the Root. So for Valentine's side, he's a Vampire Warlock with Menace and Lifelink. And it says if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, you get to exile instead. So this is great for us for spot removal for the deck. And then whenever a token dies, you can also gain 1 life off of it. If you do, of course, manage to exile a creature by removing it, you can also create a black and green pest creature token. On the other hand, if you want to play it as Lizette, Dean the Root here for 4 mana, it's a 4/4 human druid. It says whenever you gain life, you may pay 1. And if you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and those creatures gain trample until end of turn. So what I like about this card specifically is this card actually can be great in the early game if you just need to go wide with a bunch of pests, or if you have more of like a mid to late game option for you, you can then simply just play Lizette instead to start pumping up your whole team, and it goes really well with what Blec is trying to do. Go forth here at instant speed, allowing us to dig out a basic land card and putting it into our hand, or give a creature +2/+2 until end of turn. Thirsting Roots here also allows us to dig out a basic land, although at sorcery speed, or either, if not that, you can also proliferate with it, i.e. putting on a bunch of extra counters onto everything you already have, which is great. Vastwood Fortification here is one of our cards that can either be a tap land if you want it to be, or just simply use it as a +1/+1 counter pump. Revitalizing Repass here also puts a +1/+1 counter on a creature. Also, it gains Indestructible, making it a good way to protect whatever you need to. Or if nothing else, it's a tap land. Universal Automaton here is going to be a basic shapeshifter. Colorless, of course, it's an artifact creature, and it has Changeling. So this technically does count as a pest, so we're going to throw it into the deck to help us round out our package. We have Pest Infestation here. So this is going to be an double X and green sorcery spell that allows us to destroy X target artifacts and or enchantments and create twice that many pest tokens that if they die, they gain 1 life. So this can be a great way for us, again, just go super wide, destroy a couple things, and help us, again, reinforce our pest game plan. Going into the 2-drop slot, we'll have a couple of extra supportive cards that'll help us make sure we can just gain some extra life, drain out our opponent, and even if they are not exactly aligned with what Blec is trying to do, there's still great synergy for the deck. Blood Artist here is one of those cards. It's just a vampire, but however, when any creature dies, whether it's ours or our opponents, make them lose 1 life, and we can gain 1 life, so great for us for stabilizing. Deadly Dispute is one of our sacrifice enablers here. Sacrifice a creature or artifact, draw 2 cards, create a treasure token. Hunt for Specimens here from the original Strixhaven. Create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token, and you get to Learn. Granted, Learn doesn't really do too much in our deck because we don't have a sideboard for Brawl decks. However, we can still at least consider Learn as more of like a just discard cards and draw cards. So think of it more like this. So just use it as a card draw spell and also to create a token. Send in the Pest. So this is a 2 mana from Secrets of Strixhaven, so the new set, but there's a slight twist with these pests we'll talk about in a second. For this card, however, each opponent discards a card, and then we create a new kind of pest token where this one specifically says when you attack, you gain 1 life. So be aware that the old pest cards have to die in order to gain the life. The new pest cards, you have to attack with them to gain 1 life. So be aware of that, and just be careful when you are swinging with your tokens if you need to figure out what you want to keep or what you want to have attack. Just FYI. For some ramp for the deck, since we are in green, we can take advantage of cards like Newfound Adventure here. We also have Into the North, we have Rampant Growth, and we have Shared Roots. All of these kind of do the same thing, where for 2 mana, we just get out some kind of basic land. With Shared Roots and Rampant Growth, they do the exact same thing. Specifically for Into the North and Newfound Adventures, they're a little bit more specialized for us, and that actually helps us out a lot with our plan. So Into the North here allows us to dig out a snow land and put it onto the battlefield tapped. So this actually can be a non-basic, of which we're going to take advantage of, and I'll show you in again a little bit how that works. With Newfound Adventure here, this is /Farseek, where you can dig out either a plains, island, swamp, or mountain card and put it onto the battlefield. So this actually doesn't have to be a basic, which is good for our deck for perfect ramping. We'll throw in also Guardian Gladewalker. So if you haven't already noticed, we are going to throw some Changeling, Shapeshifter creatures, mostly because we don't have that many pests, at least yet. And I wanted to do a full pest deck, so I kind of use this as kind of like my workaround to kind of fill out the rest of the pest package, if you will. But in any case, when this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. We have Heritage Reclamation here for Artifact and Enchantment Hate, or you can use it as Graveyard Hate and draw another card. Masked Vandal is another one of our shapeshifters here. When it enters, you can exile the creature card from our graveyard, and then you can use it as additional Artifact or Enchantment Hate, but you can exile that card instead. We have Tangled Fluorohedron here, /Tangled Veil. Either it's a land that's tapped, or it can simply just be an elemental, and it's a mana dork. Terror Sunder here allows us to exile an artifact or enchantment, and if the spell was kicked, you can exile a non-land permanent instead. Insidious Roots here, because we will have some things that come in and out of the graveyard, so this gives all of our creature tokens the ability to also tap for mana, so you can actually use this also for your pests to make sure you can also turn them into mana dorks, which is an amazing ability for us. However, if you manage to get things that leave the graveyard, we can start creating plant creature tokens, and they get +1/+1 counters on them for each plant we control. Granted, we don't worry too much about making plant tokens, we just want to use this to take advantage of our pests to make them into mana dorks. Teacher's Pest here is a new card, the Skeleton Pest with Menace here, and it says whenever this creature attacks, gain 1 life, and then you can return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped for Golgari mana. So this actually goes really well with the Insidious Roots we just talked about right now, as a nice way to kind of keep recurring things. We have 10 the pests here, so at instant speed, you can then sacrifice a creature, and then you create X amount of 1/1 black and green pest creature tokens, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. So if we sacrifice something with a high amount of power, we can get quite a bit of pests that can help us just round out our package. Witherbloom Charm here. At instant speed, pick 1. Sacrifice a permanent to draw 2 cards, which is great for us. Gain 5 lives, also triggers off with Blec. Or destroy a non-land permanent with a mana value of 2 or less, so great for us at any point in the game. In the 3-drop slot, we have Bastard of Remembrance here. This creates for us a human soldier token, which again, we don't care about, but think of it as just simple sack fodder. However, anytime a creature we control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So this is good for us in that regard. We have Callous Blood Mage here, so when this creature enters, you can pick 1. You can either make a pest token, draw a card and lose 1 life, or use it as graveyard hate, so good overall for the deck. Moseo Vane's New Dean here, so this is actually a legendary creature, a bird skeleton warlock, and it also has flying for us. It reads... wait, hold on. Let me get the card real quick. So it reads, whenever Moseo enters, create a pest token. And then with the infusion ability, if you gain life in a turn, return up to 1 target creature card with a mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. So really nice for us to start bringing back some of our creatures and use them over and over again. Sedgemoor, which is probably one of my favorite cards in these colors and also for this theme for the deck. It's a human warlock where she has menace and ward to pay 3 life, and she has the magecraft ability from the original Strixhaven. It says, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, you get to create a pest token. So as we're spell slinging, we can create a lot of tokens to help build out our package. Venomous Changeling here is a death-touching changeling, so great for us. Choking Miasma is one of our small, cheap wraths that we can afford for the deck, and it has a kicker of green. If we kick it, put a +1 counter on a creature we control, giving all creatures later on -2/-2 until end of turn. Dismember here, actually, I didn't realize this card actually is basically a free roll, because this card actually does come from you from the basic starter package when you play Arena. So Dismember here, nice little -5/-5 to a creature until end of turn, and that's great because you actually can cast this for Phyrexian mana, so you actually can pay, if you want to, up to 4 life, which is a little tough, but a good way to kind of get rid of something that's indestructible. Balaged Recovery here, or Balaged Sanctuary. Either it's a tap land, or just bring back a creature card, or actually any card, by the way, from your graveyard to your hand. And of course, Blec, for those that don't know the lore, his dad is actually Blec's Vexing Pest here. So this is from the original set here, which is actually kind of cute that we were actually able to make both work in the deck. But this is the original one here. He's a legendary pest that gives other pests, bats, insects, snakes, and spiders you control a +1/+1 pump. When Blex dies, you gain 4 life. Or you can just simply use them as a sorcery card that says Search for Blex, where you can dig 5 cards deep, put any number of cards into your hand. However, you will lose 3 life for each card you put into your hand this way. So you can refuel, but it comes at a major cost for you. Ideally, however, you can get out Blex and Blec. That actually would be a cute little package of a father and son pest combo, if you will. Chomping Changeling here is a shapeshifter from, what was it? I think this is the Lorwyn Eclipse set, but good for our deck because it is an honorary pest. With its ability, it enters, destroys an artifact or enchantment. So if you haven't already noticed, since we are in the right colors for it, we have a ton of artifact and enchantment hate to make sure our opponents do not try to get too cheeky with mana rocks or enchantments or whatnot. Containment Breach is also another card that helps us destroy artifacts or enchantments, and it leaves behind for us a pest token if the mana value was 2 or less of the card that we destroyed. Realmwalker here is a shapeshifter changeling, and also, of course, we're going to name Pest. We can look at the top card of our library at any time, and we can cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top of our library. So it just helps us churn through our deck pretty quick. Shopkeeper's Bane here, a badger pest with trample, and it says when this creature attacks, you gain 2 life. So another good way for us to just trigger off Blec's ability. Pestilent Cauldron here is another card that provides good utility for the deck. You can either use it as a sorcery for 5 mana to restore of the 2 target creature, land, or planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand, and then each player gains 4 life, but then you do have to exile the cards, so you can't reuse it. But realistically, you want it as the Pestilent Cauldron here. So for 3 mana, this can be a black artifact that allows you to either tap to discard, creating a pest token, or pay 1 and tap it to then make an opponent mill cards equal to the amount of life we gained in turn, or pay 4 life and tap it to exile 4 target cards from a single graveyard, and we could draw a card. So good for us at any point for good utility. Speaking of cauldrons, we have another one here, Cauldron of Essence. So this is a 3 mana artifact that allows us to then gain 1 life, make an opponent lose 1 life anytime a creature we control dies. If you didn't already remember, we actually made a deck that focused on this from the what was it? It was a Pioneer deck tech that I actually managed to put together like when we started playing Strixhaven a couple weeks ago. So check that out if you haven't already done so. But realistically, what makes this card cool is you could tap this artifact and pay 3 life to then sacrifice a creature, bringing back another creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you could reuse some of your other creatures. We have Pest Mascot here. So Pest Ape with Trample here. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So this actually goes kind of cute with the Shopkeeper's Bane. So because this attacks, you gain life. Pest Mascot, when you gain life, put a counter on him, and they both go hand in hand. We have Pest Summoning here, a sorcery lesson that allows us to create 2 pest tokens, and so helps us, again, just go wide. Essence Knit Scholar here, so for 3 mana, Dryad Warlock. This was actually part of the deck tech we talked about too, but we'll talk about it one more time here. When this creature enters, create a pest token, and at the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. Changeling Wayfinder here allows us to dig out a basic land and put it into our hand. We have Findark Core here, Shapeshifter Kindred Artifact, by the way. It has Changeling, so it does count as a pest if we wanted it to be. But if nothing else, it's just simply a mana rock for us to then tap for mana we need. Speaking of, again, tapping for mana we need, we also have Patchwork Banner here. Well, of course, we're going to name Pest to give all of our creatures of the chosen name, getting +1/+1 pump, and of course, tap it for mana of any color you need. In the 4-drop slot, we have Grasping Shadows here. Whenever a creature we control attacks alone, give it lifelink and death touch until end of turn, and then put a dredge counter on the shadows. Once we have 3 or more of these counters, transform it into Shadow's Lair, which becomes a land and a cave, and allowing us to then utilize it for more mana ramp. Grave Shifter here's got to also have the Changeling ability. If this creature enters, bring back a creature card from your graveyard to our hand to reuse. Mirkwood Bats, since we are using a lot of tokens, and also it is a bat, so it triggers off with Blec here. We could use this to then make our opponent lose 1 life whenever we sacrifice or create a token. Dense Planet, hello, my fire friend. Good morning to you. Actually, wait, hold on right now. It's exactly 12 where I live right now. So, good noon. How are you doing today, my fire friend? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And thanks again for joining us. We also are going to utilize here Fell the Profane. We're going to use this either as a land if we need it to be, or just simply use it as spot removal for a creature or planeswalker. Pest Brood Sloth here is a plant sloth. It has reach, and it says when this creature dies, create for yourself 2 pest tokens. So nice for us for sacrifice fodder. Professor of Zoomancy here, it's a bear druid. When he enters, create a pest token. So again, just creates for us all these tokens we need. Binding the Old Gods here, it's a nice little saga, allows us to destroy non-land permanent, allows us to dig out a base, actually not even a basic forest, any forest by the way, and put it onto the field, giving then later all of our creatures death touch until end of turn. So nice little finisher for the deck. Luwen, Exchange Student, is a 4-mana elf druid with 3/4. Luwen enters prepared, and then you can exile a creature card from your graveyard to make Luwen become prepared again. However, you can only do this at sorcery speed. If Luwen is prepared for 1 mana at sorcery speed, you can also create a pest token to help just kind of round out our package. To help us with more card draw, we're going to throw in Cosmo Elixir here. So it's an artifact at 4 mana, and at the beginning of your end step, you can draw a card if your life total is greater than your starting life total. Otherwise, simply gain 2 life and scry 1. So nice little engine for us to help fix through our card draw. Helps us gain life, triggers off Blec here, and allows us to do basically all the things we want for the deck. In the 5-drop slot, rounding this out is going to be Webweaver Changeling here. So when this enters, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, gain 5 life. So it helps us again trigger things. We have Rooftop Percher here, also another shapeshifting changeling with flying here. When this creature enters, you exile 2 target cards from any graveyard to gain 3 life. And to finish it off, we have Moldervine Reclamation here, one of our best card draw engines, although it is expensive. For 5 mana, this enchantment allows you to then gain 1 life and draw a card anytime a creature we control dies. But otherwise, that's going to be the main part of the deck. And then finally, for our land package here, again, we are going to be a budget deck for the starting point, but we will definitely expand this later on. Bojuka Bog here for Graveyard Hate. Snow-Covered Swamp, only 2 of those, and Snow-Covered Forest. So this is, again, specifically for the Into the North. We'll also utilize otherwise 8 regular swamps and 8 regular forests. Then for the tapped duels that we can muster up, it's going to be Foggy Bottom Swamp, Haunted Mire, Illegitimate Business, Jungle Hollow, Strangled Cemetery, Woodland Chasm, Aired Archway, allowing us to bounce back any one of our lands to reuse it or just replay it. We have Command Tower, of course, as a staple, Demolition Field, and Volatile Fault for non-basic land hate. Since we are using a lot of counters, we're going to use Nesting Groundster to move them around. And then finally, a small little set of fetches for us with River's Overlook and Shire Terrace to round out the package. And that is for you our Pest Fest, everyone, for the Brawl format. So without further ado, let's jump into it now, and let's play this deck, and let's see how well it can do today. Let's get this going here. Brawl, Pest Fest. And once again, thanks to everyone for hanging in there for the whole deck tech. But of course, as always, I got to cover every single card before we get started. So hopefully you guys weren't too bored hearing me out. All right, going back to the chat now. Dense Planet, doing fine actually. Brewing a truly bounce-filled decks all the time. A 4 rare budget and the Bedazzled Yorion version. Nice! You still trying to refine the perfect bounce deck, I see. Well, kudos to you for trying to stick to that. Hopefully it works out for you and try to get, again, the best version of it. For now, let's go ahead, let's get this started here. Alright, so we're playing against... What's our opponent playing here? Oh, they're playing for the Final Fantasy Squall. Seed Mercenary. I actually do like this card. I need to get a copy for this for my Knights deck, by the way. Note to self, I gotta buy that at some point. But until then... Alright, so what do we got? Okay, so we got the Blood Artist, the Miasma, Pest Mascot, which is great. Ball of Good Recovering, Cosmo Elixir. Okay, this is a pretty good hand here. If we can start gaining life, we can definitely start pumping up our Pest Mascot here to do some heavy damage. But okay, let's see what our opponent's got going on here. What you got, opponent? Opponents? Opponent's still thinking real hard about what their hand is. They want to make sure they get the right setup. Okay, great. There we go. So with that, we'll keep this. All right. So opponent's going to be going first. So once they do that, then I think we'll just, you know, pretty much a pretty easy setup here. I don't know if I want to use the Ball of Good Recovery yet as a land, but just in case we don't draw into what we need, I might have to put it as a tap land down on turn 1, just to hedge our bets. Oh, nice. We actually got another land there. Okay, so that's good. So for that, maybe we should probably do it now. We could bounce it back later on if we need to in a pinch. All right. Regal Bunnycorn. Okay, that's cute. All right, so we got one of our many pest options here. Play the Swamp. Blood Artist. So if I'm guessing, Squall here is probably going to be built around trying to give one creature double strike. And they're going to probably be hoping to then sacrifice stuff for value to keep bringing back, if I was to guess. Okay, let's see, opponents. Show me what you got. Another Plains. Soul Search, okay. So they're going to get rid of a non-land card in our hand. We have to exile it, that's a shame. If I was to guess, probably the Cosmo Elixir is most likely what they're going to get rid of, because that's one of our pseudo card engines. Oh, they got rid of our Pest. Well, that's annoying. Opponent swings. Go to 24. Shared Roots. Okay, so from here, let's get out our pests to begin this. Can't attack because it can't do any damage with it, but again, we got our pests, so that's what we want. Okay, so from here, we could get out Blec next turn if we want to. We'd Shared Roots if we need to start ramping. Opponent's still only got a Bunnycorn, but if I was to guess, they probably will start putting down either rocks or creatures in a bit. Oh, Squall comes in now? Okay. Okay, so they got the double strike. But they don't have any permanent cards yet in the graveyard, so we'll just let it go for now. Then, Splinter, what card do you think is truly overrated? Ooh, good question there. Wait, but to clarify, are we talking about, like, in the set? Or are we talking about, like, overall in like, all of Magic? So, just want some clarity on that one. Okay, so, Blec, Loafing Pest, coming down. Swing with 1. Does our opponent block? Nope. Alright, he hasn't seen Blec there, so he knows that if we start gaining life, our pests are going to get bigger. Okay, down to 24. Let's see. Okay, so to answer your question, though, Densplinits, if we're talking about, like, overall in all of Magic... Ooh, that's actually kind of a tricky question there. I would probably say... I don't know. It's actually not that easy. Oh, opponent had Thunder Wish. I'm asking. All right, fine, opponents. You're gonna try to make us get rid of our pests here. Okay, so we go to 14. Woodland Chasm. All right, so with that, play the Commando Elixir. We will play Woodland Chasm to tap. Okay, we can at least start gaining life, so that's good. And Commander to start. Okay. Good question there. A card that I think is truly overrated, if I was to look at just Commander. Okay. I guess I would say... No, okay. Our opponent's just gonna drain us out here a bit. But we did manage to get some life back. Okay, Callous Blood Mage. Shire Terrace. So... We will use this, make a pest, shared roots, try to ramp a little bit more. Let's get out a regular forest. Gain that life. Oh, we got the felled propane. That's good. We got that on top. I would say any kinds of cards that kind of force you to tax things. So let's see. Hold on. Okay, it's just instant sorceries. So we'll take the hit there. Gain the life back. So any kinds of cards that... Now we gotta do it this way. Okay. Squall goes down. We lose 2 life. We will sacrifice Shire Terrace. So I would say cards like, was it like the Rhystic Study or the Smothering Tithe. Don't get me wrong, I do like the cards, but they're not like... I don't know if I would say those cards are the like worst or whatever, or like the most like... Because people always talk like... How do I say this? I guess I would say people tend to meme on those cards a lot. They get this notion that they're worse than they really are. Not too many people are actually going to be spending that much money to get those cards. And on top of that, it's not so much that... Take my hits here. Down to 11. And when it comes to cards that people always, you know, like, they always be like, you got to watch out for this card, you got to watch out for that card. It's just, I don't know. They're not, like, necessary for deck building. Like, if you're in white or blue, they're not absolutely necessary. I would even go so far as to say cards like, I know people also talk about Soul Ring, which I feel like that's a whole nother can of worms in itself. Grasping Shadow. And then, okay, Choking Miasma doesn't really help us here, so... No attacks. Pass. Okay. Don't need more lands here. Fault or fault. So, at this point, I'm pretty sure we're pretty much dead. Yeah, so, like, cards like Rhystic Study and Smothering Tithe, which I have those cards. I like how they are, but realistically, you don't need them in every deck. People always keep thinking, like, you know, like, those cards need to be banned, or they're just too much for tables. But how many people do you know out there are realistically playing these cards? Not to mention, these cards are... I'm not even going to block. We're going to lose. Take our L. Take our first L for the day, everyone. But it's okay. Not a big deal. Do we have fun with this match? Yeah, not really. But it's okay. And again, like... So, sorry, I'm probably just going to ramble here for a second here, but yeah, cards like, you know, you got your super expensive cards that people get super, super scared for, but you're not going to see too often a Rhystic Study at your average run-of-the-mill table, or your Smothering Tithe. And even if people crack those in booster packs, more power to you, but how many people are actually spending $30, $40 for these cards, a single card to put into your commander deck? You don't need them. You don't need them to actually... make your deck that much more effective. And realistically, all it's going to do is just make people dislike your deck that much more. Other cards too, like cheaper stuff that's available to everybody, like Soul Ring. Soul Ring is actually one of those interesting cards if you think about it from a historical perspective. The card was obviously too strong back in its day when it was created. This was before it was created, before the era of Commander. But now... Wizards of the Coast has memed it to the point where it goes in every single pre-con, but you don't also need that card either. You can still put together fun decks without a Soul Ring. I think one of my Landfall decks, yeah, I know, Landfall. But realistically, one of my Landfall decks, I actually don't put it in there because, you know, it's not necessary. The whole point of the deck is to get land drops. You don't need Mana Rocks. If a deck was focused on a specific plan that needs these cards, I mean, that's fine. But realistically, these cards... I feel like they're pushed more towards like the bracket 4, the bracket 5, like competitive, or I should say CDH commander decks out there. So hopefully that kind of answers a little bit of what I was trying to get at. I know I kind of rambled a little bit there, but you kind of get the idea of what I was trying to get at. Juby Sisters, hello my fire friend, how you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Thanks again for joining us today. Juby Sisters, yeah, like with Soul Ring, if your deck relies on coverage as a mechanic, what are you even doing with 2 colorless? Yeah, and again, like, I know people always try to, you know, meme on the whole idea of, like, yeah, I'm going to get out, like, my Soul Ring on turn 1, and I'm going to go into, like, Arcane Signet on that same turn. How many times is that statistically going to happen? by the time anytime I have played, by the time I get Soul Ring, I don't need the card anymore. It's like too late. It's a great card that's a bunch of burst. It's a great burst option in the early game, but it's not going to help you too much into the mid or late game. So in my opinion, if you want Soul Ring in your decks, there's nothing wrong with it. That's fine. Keep it if you like, but it's not necessary. And same thing with like a lot of the higher end cards. They're not necessary. Mostly just because, again, it's just they're expensive for what they are. They're just meant to be like flex cards. Which does remind me, at some point I should really make the Patreon videos I've been meaning to do. I want to start doing Patreon videos that show off all of my decks that I have built over the years. I have like 12 decks at varying stages of development. All right, hold on one second. Say goodbye to the Dryad. And we got some pests now. There we go. Nice. Okay, but yeah. At this point, I think I have like 12 commander decks. I'm trying not to build too many more, because I realistically should actually finish the decks I have and refine those before I start building more decks. But at some point, I will put together videos for those of you that are curious about what I have built personally. Okay, so for now, let's tap the swamp, Arid Archway, bounce back to the snow-covered swamp. We'll play Blec. Get our free damage down to 22. Okay, so for here, maybe Mirkwood Bats, Pantlaza, doing dinosaur things. Alright, so what they hit? So they got a Hulking Raptor. I got that card too. At some point I would like to do a dinosaur deck, but maybe I should hold off for the pre-con. We'll see what happens. Let the Ranging Raptors do their damage. Oh, nice, we got Blood Artist. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so let's see, how do we do this here? Oh, okay, I got it. This is perfect. Changeling. It gains that, it can't be blocked, so gain that life. There we go. The pests are now going to have their little fest. Okay, so for here, Arcane Signet. So, for example, like, look at, like, Arcane Signet. This one I don't dislike as much. This one actually does feel good for a lot of cheap decks out there. But yeah, Soul Ring, you don't need Soul Ring. Oh, we will actually decline. Let's see. No blocks yet. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, dang it, they exiled it. Okay, I completely messed up there. I thought that was... this is what I get for not paying attention, everyone, so that was my mistake. I thought that cooped up here was going to just keep it exiled until I blew it up. So now I just lost my commander for the rest of the game. Well, I feel very, very embarrassed right now. It's okay, it's okay. We have ways of still getting around this. So let's see. Essence Knit Scholar. Make a pest token. We will Shared Roots. Basic land. Let's get out another... We'll get out a swamp. Make sure we ramp properly. Changeling Outcast, still doing its thing. Down to 19. And we go up to 17. Opponent is making their ramp. Commune with dinosaurs. Ooh, Tally. Ugh. Okay, Tally's on board here. That's a scary, scary card for us. Gotta sound the alarm for that. Okay. Alright, Return to the Wilds. They get a human token. They're swinging. Let's see. Do we want to block that at all? I mean, we can still take the damage for a little bit more. Okay. Professor of Zoomancy, so we'll do it this way. Mirkwood Bats coming in. We will Containment Breach, blow away their Arcane Signets. It is mana value 2 or less, so we will get a pest token off of that. So that's cute. Mirkwood Bats hits him. We then swing with a Changeling Outcast. Flips. Alright, down to 16, we're at 15. So Tally is our biggest thing we gotta now worry about here. But if this works out, maybe we'll not be able to pull this off. Okay, Tally swinging. But thankfully, it does not have trample, so we can actually sponge a hit here. Callous Blood Mage. And a Migration Path. Wow, our opponent's just like all ramp. Okay, so what did they do? Did they draw a card? Did they exile? What you doing, opponent? And with the Shadow's Lair, Okay, so they exile our graveyard. I mean, we don't care about that. That's not a big deal. All right, in the meantime here, let us block with 1. Just 1. Okay, we gain some life off of that. Okay. Opponent's got 1 more card in hand. I have no idea what it is, though. But I get okay. But now that I've had time to kind of think about it, I also do want to ask everybody. So, Densletta did bring up a good question there. So, what do you think is your most overrated card in the Commander format? Do you agree with what I was mentioning earlier, or do you guys have other cards that you might want to bring up? And then let's see, going on the chat here. Densletta, I'll tell you this much, but Flow State is great in my bounce deck. I haven't had a chance to play Flow State yet. I know some people have been saying it's it's not that good. But I guess I need to try it out again. Let's see. Okay, Blood Artist for now. All right, and then Professor of Zoomancy. Make a pest token. Drain him for 1. And then let's see. Move a Dread counter. Draw another card, lose a life. Play the Swamp. And then, well, I guess we can fly over our opponent here. And then Changeling Outcast here. Down to 12. Ooh, we're so close. So I think our best bet of surviving here is we need to actually sponge these big creatures. If we lose everything, the Blood Artist should be able to trigger off everything. Unless if our opponent Rampaging Raptors us. Okay. Does this hit do anything? Or are we just dead? Oh, they took our Sedgemoor Witch. Wow, opponents. Okay. Trapjaw Tyrant. Pest Mascot. Okay, opponent stealing stuff. Okay. Yep. So the Pantlon's deck, once again, does its discovery thing, and now they just create everything. Alright. Is that it, opponents? I'm going to start pumping up the Raptor here. So I realize now that alone kills us. Because we don't have anything to stop it. I mean, I could block here, but that's not enough. Block, 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 and... Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, block. And... block. We're pretty much dead no matter what we do, everyone. But, you know, dang. It was fun for a bit, but it looks like our dinosaurs steamrolled our pests. Poor little critters. They just couldn't do enough there against the big bad dinosaurs. Not a big deal, Loco, everybody. We'll go extinct this time around, but don't worry, we will bounce back. Witherbloom will find a way. We will find a way to get a victory here, one. I want to get at least 1 win with the budget deck. So that's what we're hoping for at least. If nothing else, the deck can make the tokens, so I do like that. But, yeah, it's still a little rough around the edges. Ooh, they're playing with Hana, Ship's Navigator. That's an interesting one. That's an old school card. So yeah, that's old school here. Return an artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Huh. Okay, so are they... So I guess they're an artifact enchantment Azorius deck? That'll be interesting. Let's see if we can get around that, though. So for now, let's see. We'll keep this hand. It's a little slow, but that's okay. We can make it work, though. But yeah, for those of you that are watching live or on the replay, what is your... or at least in your opinion, the most overrated card for the Commander format? Let me know in the comments, everyone. I would love to hear from you. Okay, we'll play our tap land first. Balagad Sanctuary. Let's see. Do I want Valentine first? Probably. I guess that would be helpful. Okay. Does the opponent have nothing but mana rocks? Or are they going to be rocking instead enchantments? Well, don't keep me waiting, opponent. What you got? Wait, why no death triggers? Were you talking about the last match there, Dense Linnet? Mech Titan Core. Oh, are they a vehicles deck? Well, that might be kind of fun. Okay, Old Growth Grove here. Tapping. So I think next we'll probably name Realm Walker to hopefully see if we can churn through our deck a little faster. Hana. Alright. Ship's Navigator is here. Volatile Faults. We'll play our Realm Walker. We'll, of course, name Pest. We'll see what we can dredge up here. Okay. If you're wondering why we didn't get death triggers last time, Dense Planets, on the game, we got trampled, so we just couldn't, so the life gain wouldn't have triggered until after damage was applied. If that's what you were talking about. Okay, so the Mech Titan, trying to get in some cheap shots there. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, it was the Raptor that pushed through because it was, I think it was like a 10-3 or whatever, and it had trample, so that's why we couldn't get the death triggers to go off in time. It just wasn't fast enough. Okay, in the meantime here, let us... we'll do it this way. We will make our pest token. Cute little pest token. We swing. Hana can't block, so that means easy damage. Okay, down to 23. So we'll draw the Sloth. Hopefully we can draw some lands. Come on, deck. Give me some lands. We have plenty of lands to work with. Although, granted, a lot of them are tapped. Okay, one with the machine. Okay, they also got a land. So they're also a little slow on ramping, too, so hopefully that helps us out a bit. Okay, they're crewing up once again with the Admiral Aeronaut. Okay, the core's still doing its thing. Okay, so... okay, well... not too bad. That still counts. That helps us out a bit. We will get out a... let's get out a Swamp for that. Put it into our hand. Well, we can actually play it right now, so that's good. And then we'll play Valentine, Dean of the Vein. So for this, swing, swing. Getting our damage. Opponent's obviously not going to block, so that's easy damage. Down to 19. We're still in this. We also got another land coming up, which is nice. We also can put down Blec next turn, which also should be good. Okay, Solemn Simulacrum. Also digging out a basic. Okay, so for this... on the other hand, they're also tapped down too, so maybe I should get the Mech Titan to get blown away now? I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out what's the best option here. Opponent's still trying to harass us here with damage. Okay, so for here, play the Swamp. Play Blec now, so got our cute little Loafing Pest. So as long as we can gain life, this should be pretty good. And then, let's see. Opponents. Opponents? You there? Hello? What does Hana do? So for 3 mana here, she just allows you to bring back artifact or enchantment cards from the graveyard back to your hand. So she's an old school card from, yeah, she's way back. But she's still a fun card. I actually do have her in my vehicles deck. Like I have a 4-color vehicles deck we played a while ago. Actually, wait, no, that was actually a Thopter deck. But in my actual personal collection, she is actually part of my deck. So actually it's kind of a cool one there. Callous Blood Mage. We'll just swing with that. If our opponent blocks, they block. Okay. Down to 17. So our opponent really does not want anything to trigger off, which is fair. I don't blame him. Okay. Shardling Sphinx. Whenever an artifact you control deals combat damage, create a Thopter token. Ah, okay. Looks like our opponent's going to start going wide here. That's fine. Okay, Realm Walker will block here. Nice. But that does get exiled, so the death trigger does not trigger off opponent, so too bad. You don't get to draw a card off of that. Oh, and our opponent probably figured that out and has decided they have had enough. All right, all right. First win of the day, everyone. First win. Let's get a round of applause for that. We did have fun with that one. Not a crazy match there, but hey, a win is a win. All right, nice. Trying to get also our dailies done. Remember always, kids, get your dailies done. Okay, so far so good, right? We managed to at least show you we get one decent win there. All right, but now we're going to lock in now. We're going to get our next victory here against, Sanar, Unfinished Genius. Okay, so they're playing with another Strixhaven card here. We haven't actually seen this in action yet, so I don't know what I'm expecting for this except a lot of spell slinging. Hold on a second. Hold on. So for those that don't know, so Senar, Unfinished Genius, it's an uncommon Goblin Sorcerer, so cool typing, 0/4, great blocker by the way. He enters prepared, and it says you tap him to create a treasure token. However, you can activate only if you've cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn. Huh, okay. So it can be pseudo ramp, but his idea, or it says wild idea, his sorcery ability allows you to search your library for an instant or sorcery card. You reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. Okay, so a very interesting card. A little expensive, but he can ramp, and he is capable of... Well, we can keep this hand, right? We can keep this hand, yeah. But he's capable of digging out sorceries to start getting your package going. Very interesting, though. Brainstorm there, okay. We'll play our command tower to start. Now, if we can get to that third land drop, we'll be fine. Mountain. Does opponent bring in Sonar now? Or are they going to wait? We'll see what our opponent does. Oh, they are bringing him in now. Okay. Cheeky opponents. Okay. Down to 24. Deadly Dispute, okay. That'll be helpful for later on. For now. Teacher's Pest. Oh, it's such a cute little card there. Look at him. Okay, so opponents, they want to swing, they can. What's also nice about Teacher's Pest is also has Menace. So we should be able to get through our triggers no matter what. Heartfire, Immolator, okay. Do you swing, opponents? Nothing yet, okay, that's fine. We'll play Into the North, so we get out a Snowland. So obviously we're going to get our Snow Duel. Okay, get the Woodland Chasm. Nice. Get her ramp going, little by little. No attacks yet. Dense Planet. We'll actually send the deck codes for the 2 bounce decks, the Budget and the Orin. Okay, nice. So add those, of course, to the Discord, so appreciate that. I'll check that out when I can. I've been trying to keep pace with all of you guys on the Discord regarding, like, what the stuff you guys post. So, again, apologies if I don't always respond immediately, but I try to at least keep pace with that when I can. You guys also put up some really fun stuff. I've been trying to find more time to dig into more of the things. So at some point, maybe I'll just ask the Discord, if you guys have a deck that you would like me to play, I'll see if I can try to do like maybe one day where I can play all your submitted decks. We might do like a fun live stream, maybe later on, if I'm not too bored of like, say like the Marvel set. And maybe we can just do like a day where, hey, if you guys all have something you want me to play, or maybe you have an idea of a theory, maybe we'll try to see if we can play it live. That might be fun. Okay. Our opponent's also playing Alchemy cards. Alright, so they get a boon. So when you cast an instant or sorcery event, oh, they get a free copy of it. That's annoying. Okay. So be it. Patchwork Banner, that's not too shabby. Okay, so for here, play the banner. We need to start ramping. So we'll name, of course, Pest. Gives them a little bit of extra pump. Let's see, do we want to attack, though? I mean, attacking, they have to block with both. I'll do it. Gain some life back. I seriously doubt they're going to block. There we go. Got some damage. Down to 23. Let's see. So we have 4 mana open. A Containment Breach. Another Findok Core for more ramping. The Mirisis. Okay. Okay. Opponent is trying to play all of the prepared creatures. Interesting. But I guess that's kind of nice because these cards do count as 2 spells in 1. So if you actually really want to round out your deck, maybe that actually is a pretty good way to do it. Good. We got another land there. That's good. Let's see. Okay, so how do we do this here? Play Blec now. Okay. Make it a 4/5. Okay, we attack. We gain life. So Blec does trigger here. Okay, nice. Okay, opponents. Thankfully, our opponent is stumbling on mana, so that is helping us out a bit here. Down to 20. Okay, as long as we start putting down more pests, this will start getting much more effective. Okay, so they're gonna prepare themselves for a brainstorm. Okay. FYI, as a person who's been playing a while, remember that although Brainstorm is a very powerful card in its own right, by allowing you to then dig those 3, keep in mind you also end up being Brainstorm locked because you still have to put 2 cards back. So that means whatever you drew into, you still have to draw into it. The only way to avoid that is fetch land out, you draw your 3 cards, put the cards back you don't want, then trigger your actual fetch land to then shuffle those away, Hopefully that means you can draw into what you need. Just an FYI, everyone. Okay, command tower. Opponents. Anything else? Okay, Molten Core Maestro. Another card I haven't seen yet. Opus. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, put a +1/+1 counter. 5 or more mana. Okay, that can be powerful ramp. Can be. Okay, opponent swinging. I know they have something in hand because they're Spellslinger, so we're going to let that go. We'll take the damage for now. Small price to pay, but it's okay. We can gain that life back, so it's not a huge deal for us. Then Splendid. Want to know something interesting? Displacer Kitten and any prep card works wonders, especially with one with the Seething Song as its prepared spell for infinite mana. Oh, that's right. You know, in all the time I've been playing the game, I realize now we've never, ever done on stream a Displacer Kitten combo shenanigan deck. Maybe it's time for that. We just might see if we can do that at some point. But until then, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set down. It puts us as 3, right? Okay. Core. Okay. So I think our best option here, we're going to swing. See what our opponent does here. We'll gain the life. If our opponent taps out, so be it. But I have an idea here that we're hoping to see if it can work. Opponents. A Braid. Ooh, okay. Okay. That goes down to 3. The life trigger is still on the stack, though. So we still get that life back. And also, he still gets pumped. The Findog Core also hilariously, since it is a kindred creature type, it actually gets a counter, which is hilarious. But here's the reason why we're going to do this. So, okay, opponents. If they block, that's fine. But ideally, we want that Choking Miasma to trigger off here. As we're waiting. Okay. Opponents, nothing? Okay, so they make a treasure. Anything else? They're going to just tap. Go ahead, opponent. You can tap. They can sacrifice the Immolator if they need to at a pinch, but I don't know if that helps them. Do they brainstorm? Is that what they're trying to do? Okay. So here we go. Choking Miasma. We only have 1, 2, 3. Okay. Make everything -1/-1. So Heartfire Immolator will survive. If they want to blow up Blec, now would be their shot. What's their opponent going to do here? Ooh, okay. So what do they do? What do they do? Okay, Brainstorm. So Immolator does not die, but at the very least, we blow away pretty much almost their whole board. Okay, opponent, what are you going to do? Opponent, all right. There we go. Nice. So we're able to at least blow away some creatures that also were causing us problems. We're at 10, and we're at 16. So we're not doing too shabby. Desmond might say it's a kitten song. I like that, by the way. I'm probably going to steal that at some point, so FYI. Draycatcher. But yeah, at some point... Ooh, I realized we actually haven't done... I mean, we did the Prismari Storm deck, so we actually do need to do a Prismari deck for us on live stream. So we got to do that at some point. We're also at 10 now. Maybe that'll probably be something we're going to add to it. Dismember, that's good. Let's see. Okay, so how do we want to do this? We have 1, 2, we got 6 mana open. Professor of Zoomancy. We'll make our pest. So this is the kind of pest you actually want to sacrifice. Swing here. Gain that life back again. Ooh, okay. Prowess, okay. Okay. Well, the trigger's also... Hold on. Sacrifice... Actually, no. I know. We will. Gain the life. Opponent has 1 mana open. Do they have any other answers? 4 cards in hand. They could technically have something, so we'll see. Opponents? Ooh, they do sacrifice it. Wow. But that's not enough. Sorry, opponents. Okay, we still get the cards. We still get the pump there. And then let's see. Do we want the dismember now? Okay, so this is going to hurt for a second here, but that's okay. Okay, so what do we get rid of here? Take the damage there. Go to 7. Dismember. All right, we got him. So that's gone. We bounce this back to the hand. Okay, that's fine. They surveil. Still getting that life. So we're up to 8. Wow, opponent is blocking. But they have to block with both. Okay, so with that, I guess we, what is it? We take out the Draycatcher then? Or let's see, hold on. No, we take out there. No, okay. Draycatcher's got to go. That actually can still be a threat. Play the forest and pass. Okay. Not too bad so far. We've been able to keep it under control, but man, this game could go either way. Opponents. Still got a bear. Aw, they blew up our bear. Opponents. Why would you blow up our bear? He was just trying to learn about pests. Okay, so they threw away a copy enchantment. Okay, I guess that was no use to them. Okay, so they tried to make a treasure to prepare themselves. Cavalry Courtyard. Alright, that's fine. So they also gained some life back. So let's see. How do we want to do this now? Okay. Bash Remembrance, that's actually pretty nice for us. So bring back Blec. Forest. We will... Let's see. Bash Remembrance. And then... Okay, we can do this at instant speed. So, game plan right now. Once Teacher's Pest come back, then we should be able to then keep pounding away at our opponent here. Wow, we're close. We're so close to winning this victory here. So far, a pretty good game. Opponent hasn't done anything super flashy, but I think that game changer for us was definitely the choking miasma. That helped us out a lot. Kitsune. Okay. Player. You may exchange control. Oh. Opponents. 2 other target creatures controlled by different players. Okay, so what do they swap? Okay. We'll still get back our Teacher's Pest. Just the same. Swamp. Let's get a wild idea going here. Let's see. We want to blow away here. Black. Okay, so for here, I think we will... Gotta get that Terror Asunder. Okay. Tear Asunder. That's gone. So from here... We'll make a free token, so thank you, opponent. Swing, gain that life back. They can block the soldier token, which is fine. Go to 9. Go to 8, and we go up to 10. We will get back our Blec. How dare our opponent take our actual commander. I don't like my cards getting stolen. Ember Island Production. Okay, so now they're making copies of it. How dare you mock us, opponents. Waterbending Scroll, okay. But don't think you're going to get the win here, opponents. We do have ways of stopping you. Okay, so Strangled Cemetery, okay. So that actually comes in untapped now, which is nice. Containment Breach. Blow away their scroll. Make another pest. Luwen, which you actually can use as your backup commander if you want to. Best pest friend. And Venomous Changeling. Alright. Thank you, opponents. I appreciate the ramp. Thank you, opponents. I will also make more pests, thanks to your own commander. Oh no, you should not have given me your commander. That helped us now refill our plan here perfectly. So I'm out of cards, but that's okay. We have to just draw a card and discard a card. Even though our opponent may think they have the edge by stealing our own commander, we will fight back. Not giving up. Okay, opponents. No swings, of course. Send in the pests. We will make an opponent discard their card. Okay. Thank you, opponent. Disdainful Stroke. We will then turn on Findock Core. Alright. Prepare. Big swing here. And there you go, our opponent. There we go. Victory goes to us, everyone. Aw, yeah. Opponent, you should have never let me take control of your commander. That's what you get for stealing Blec from us. How dare you? Alright. But there you go, everyone. Even despite our opponent's shenanigans, we still managed to get the victory there. So I was feeling pretty good about that one. All right. Wow, we've actually made it to the halfway point of the stream already. Wow, time's flying today. Okay, well, I think we'll probably leave it there for the budget version, everyone. So if you do like the budget version and you're interested, don't worry. I will, of course, leave a link for that in the details. We'll, of course, put that across our socials. So wherever you're watching this, don't worry. It's going to be there for you. But what if we decided to take our pests to the next level? So this is now the upgraded version of the deck, everyone. So we're going to try to refine our game plan a little bit more. We will probably mix and match a little bit more with just Beyond Pests to get a little more value out of it. So for this version here, what we're going to try to do is we want to try to lean more into the sacrificing for value to start ramping things a little bit quicker for us. So some of the upgrades mean that we're going to make room now for Culling the Weak and Dark Ritual. So Dark Ritual allowing us to get 3 black mana, which is great for speeding up our game plan. We have Culling the Weak here. For this, you sacrifice a creature to gain 4 temporary mana, so that's great if you actually want to speed up like something really big very fast. Other upgrades, we're now going to throw in Grisk Voracious Larva here. So this is an insect with Death Touch. Whenever Grisk or another creature you control enters, if it entered from your graveyard or cast from the graveyard, pay green. And if you do so, you can exile Grisk and turn him into Grisk the Plague Swarm. So this actually could be a really sweet planeswalker for the deck to give us more value. For that, now we're going to upgrade for Stonecoil Serpent. He has protection for multicolor, so it's actually good against multicolor decks, but it is a snake, and it does get a bonus from Blec, because again, it does pump up from snakes, so that's good for us. Other upgrades we're going to throw into the deck. Obviously, got to throw in the Terminus of Return. So again, this is, what is it? The Soul Stone from the Marvel set. What is it? Yeah, Spider-Man. Ugh. Not a fan of it, but it is an upgrade for the deck. So we're going to throw it in there as a powerful mana rock. We're going to throw in, of course, Smallpox here. So that I really am going to start building a deck around Smallpox. So this is a really nasty card. Old school card, but really good. Symmetrically, each player has to lose 1 life, discard a card, sacrifice a creature of their choice, and sacrifice a land of their choice. So this can actually be pretty devastating against certain decks out there. We'll throw in some more mana dorks here. We got Fanatic of Ronos here. We have Lotus Cobra. So our snakes here. So we have a little bit more snake support because these provide for us better land ramp for the deck. We'll keep Farseek, for example, but we're kind of cut away some of our ramp that we had earlier to make room for these more stronger ramp options. In terms of other upgrades for the deck here, into the 3-drop slot, we'll throw in Black Market Connections. Creates for us treasure tokens by losing a life, lose 2 life. You can draw a card, or for 3 life, you can then make a colorless Shapeshifter. So the Shapeshifter does count as any creature we want. So of course we want pests. So it creates for us a nice little buffer for us there. Of other upgrades for the deck here that is going to help us out, we will throw in, what else do we have here? Sorry, trying to go through it. Hornet Nest. So honestly, you don't need Hornet Nest, but this is a favorite card of mine. I don't know why I love this card so much. I've had this in some of my decks that I've built in the past where I try to lure opponents to actually hit this, and getting the amount of flying Death Touch insects here, i.e. those bees, those hornets, they are hilariously nasty to deal with. So hopefully this actually can go off. We actually managed to achieve the dream of this card memeing on our opponent. Was it almost like a year ago now? There is a highlight video for that one. It was hilarious, by the way. You guys should check that out. It's there. It's somewhere on my channel. It's one of the shorts. We managed to make like 200 insect tokens, and it was just absolutely hilarious. I loved how that card go off. So I'm going to throw it in there just for fun. This is honestly more for me than anything else. And then other upgrades we're going to throw in is Mutable Explorer here. It's another changeling for us. When this creature enters, you create a tapped Mutavault token. So this creates for us, again, some more ramp. And the Mutavaults themselves can be all creature types. So this does count as an honorary pest for our deck, so we love that. Other upgrades for the deck that's going to help us out here. Scoot Swarm. It is an insect, so it does go off with Blec here. So imagine, if you will, Blec going off with a giant army of Scoot Swarms. That's also another fun way you can actually go crazy with the deck. Other upgrades that are going to help us out here, we're going to throw in from the actual Commander Precon, Gorma the Gullet here. So Gorma here is a pest frog, has lifelink, and it says whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Gorma here. Non-token creatures you control enter with an additional +1/+1 counter on them for each creature that died under your controller's turn. So if you want to go crazy with tokens and counters, this is another option for you. We don't want to do that too much for the deck, but I just want to throw him in there because this cute little boy, how can you say no to that face? He looks like he's just ready. Oh, actually, no, it's a girl. Oh, I didn't realize, like, oh, that's my mistake. Because I realized the flavor text on there says she's not a picky eater. Wow. So Gorma is actually a gal. Oh, well, she's still cute just the same. We still want her, of course, in the deck. So still awesome for us. Okay, and then moving on here, we have Staff of Completion here. So you can pay 1 life to destroy a target permanent you own. So if you want to just blow it up for value, pay 2 life to add mana, pay 3 life to proliferate, which can be probably your best option. Pay 4 life to draw a card, kind of expensive though. Or just pay the 5 mana to untap the artifact and then do it all over again. Great overall for the deck. Now, in terms of other upgrades, we're going to throw in Southwind Avatar here, Snake Spirit Avatar from Ninja Turtles, Death Touch, and it says whenever another creature you control dies, gain life equal to its toughness. So this can help us again, just give us more value there. And whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life, so more life gain and drain. We're going to throw in an actual legit Wrath for us, which is going to be Damnation. Other upgrades for the deck will be Arasta, the Endless Web. So we mostly want this for tokens. So for this, anytime an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, create spider tokens that can help us again with our deck. Force of Vigor, definitely a very devastatingly powerful card, but amazing for our deck here. Instant speed. If it's not your turn, exile a green card from your hand, and then for free, you can destroy up to 2 target artifacts and or enchantments. This is amazingly powerful for the deck. We want to try to use some of our lands again, so we're going to throw an Ice Tail Explorer. It is an insect, so it does count with Blec here. And with Landfall, we can start milling more cards. So this can help us, again, just churn through our whole deck, start ramping us really, really quickly for our deck. We'll throw in Professor Delian Fell here. I actually really want to play this card on his own standalone deck, but he's actually pretty cool for our deck. +2 to gain 3 life, 0 to draw a card and lose 1 life, -3 to destroy a creature, and -6 as the ultimate to emblem. Whenever you gain that much life, target opponent loses that much life. So I actually love how that can actually life gain and drain an opponent very quickly. And then finally, in the upper part here, the only other upgrade we're going to throw in will be Gix's command here. Choose 2 of these options at sorcery speed for 5 mana. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on 1 creature, and it gains lifelink until end of turn. Destroy all creatures with power 2 or less. Return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to our hand. Or each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. So you can use this as a Wrath, Pump, or then just, recur creatures. It's good for us at any point in the game. Den Splendid, oh my gosh, they are pesties. Get it? Oh, maybe I should call the deck that. I'll be honest, the reason why I didn't play this deck earlier, because I actually had this deck already ready to go like a week and some ago, was I honestly could not figure out how do I want to name this deck. Because originally I even asked Mrs. Inferno, because I was asking her, what sounds best? I actually thought about that too. Pesties, Pest Fest, Pest Fiesta. But I think I probably would have gone with Pest Fiesta if I put cute little sombrero hats on them. That actually would have been fun, by the way. Maybe I should try to redo that for the thumbnail. I don't know. What y'all would name this deck if you ask me? But in any case, sorry, I'm just rambling again, everyone, but it's so cute where you can name this a lot of things, but we're definitely not going to be done with pests at some point. I'm going to try to play maybe some kind of token deck with pests in the future. We do have a lot of good stuff here that's really good for across all kinds of decks. Any case, sorry. Moving along, because we got to get going with the games here. The final upgrades, of course, of the deck are going to be the obvious, which is going to be the land base. So, of course, all the rare duels we can muster up, and, of course, all the other stuff in between, all the utility things. Keeper Bajuka Bog, throw in Phyrexian Tower to sacrifice for more ramping. Beseiju, of course, is going to be good for us at any point in the game. The rare duels we're going to be utilizing will be Blooming Marsh, the Pathway Land, Deathclap Glade, Land of War Wastes, Nurturing Peatland, Overgrown Tombs or Shockland, the Surveil Land Underground Mortuary, the Verge Land and Wastewood Verge. We'll throw in Caverner Souls to make sure our pests are uncounterable. Command Tower stays, of course, along with Demolition Field. We'll upgrade with better ramp, with better fetches, like Fatal Passage. Here we have, Prismatic Vista. We have the Verdant Catacombs. We'll throw in, of course, more ways to proliferate with Karn's Bastion here. Fountain Port to sacrifice some of our other tokens for more value for us. Mana Confluence for better fixing. The actual Muta Vault itself, so we can make this into an honorary pest or whatever we need it to be. We'll throw in Urborg and Yami Vial, so all of our utility lands can now become forests and swamps, which is perfect for the deck. And finally, of course, keep your volatile vaults for more non-basic land hate. But now that is the upgraded version of the deck, everyone. So are pests going to be even stronger than before? Well, we'll find out in just a second, everyone. So let's get our Pest Fest, our Pest Fiesta, our Pesties, if you will. Whatever you want to call them. We, of course, are going to be all about our pests for the remainder of the stream. Chris Geiger, Chris Grainer here. Pesties forever. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. How you doing today, my fire friend? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And thanks again for joining us. All right, so let's see. Can our Pesties do their magic today? Opponent's playing with Uru, Acorn Scrounger here. So it's an alchemy card. So it looks like it's going to be squirrels versus pests, everyone. Actually, fun fact for everybody. In certain areas, squirrels actually are seen as a pest for certain areas. Just an FYI. And now you know. And now you know. All right, we'll put that down tapped. Because we don't need to shock ourselves. All right, so if our opponent is, let's see, you can forage. When you do, you get to create a chitter spitter for free. Okay, that's annoying. Deathcap Cultivator, okay. That does count for ramp. Let's see. We'll dismember now. Take the 3. Get rid of that. No ramping for you, opponent. And let's see. Next. You bring up Blec. If we don't get another land drop, though. But then again, we'll see. We also have Blecs. They get Vat of Rebirth. Okay. Got the Damnation. That'll be good for later. Let's see. I guess we'll play the Thirsting Roots. We don't really have a choice here, so get our basic out. Let's see. What do we get? What do we get here? I think we'll probably get a Swamp. Alright. Get our land out there and pass. Dragon Yoshi 1. Hello, my fire friend. How you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And thanks again for joining us today. Is Hooded Blightfang in there? I just joined. Oh. Now, we could put in Hooded Blightfang, but realistically, our deck isn't focused too much on the Death Touch part. But they can get a lot of life gain triggers. Maybe we can kind of reshape this a little bit later on once we get to, once we get past a couple things here. Let's see. What do we want, though? Let's put out Blecs first. Put out Blecs first. We could put down Blec. We really do need more lands, though. So I'm hoping we'll get some lands here. Uru coming in. So they get to forage if they want to. That means they get a free Chitter Spitter. Joy. Alright. Okay, opponents. Making your little tokens for free. Yeah. Still not a fan of alchemy cards, and I don't think I ever will be. But okay. Opponent swings. Beifong's Bounty Hunters does some damage to us. Okay, we got a Yerborg, so that's good. Let's see. How do we want to do this, though? I guess Blec comes down now. So he gets a nice little bit of pump. No attacks yet. We'll wait. Alright. Hesprude Sloth probably will be our next option here, but I really would like for us to see if we can get some more lands. If we can get some more lands, this will be a lot easier for us. Okay. Until then, Gilded Goose. I realize now my Urborg also kind of helps out our opponent here, so that doesn't help us this time, but that's okay. They make their tokens. Opponent swinging. Maybe. That Vat of Rebirth will start working its magic soon, so we probably should use the Pest Infestation to actually blow that up, so that way they don't get more value. We'll see. We will see. Okay, they swing again. That's 8 damage, but they have 2 cards in hand. Do we take a chance to block? Opponents. No? Nothing? Oh, okay. Big swing. Or not. Okay, make up your mind, opponent. What are you trying to do? For now, Pest Infestation. On 1. We'll blow up that Vat of Rebirth. I don't want them getting more value off of that. So, gotta do it. We gotta do it. Tamio's. Wow. Okay, they actually did have protection. Okay. That's annoying. Can't really swing yet. Dang, I was hoping we were going to get some tests off that. Okay, so trying to think here, what's our best option? Battery Birth still doing Battery Birth things. Dense Planet, as much as we are mixed on Universes Beyond, but Witcher franchise would actually fit in a Magic setting. Well, again, I don't want more in the realm of Magic that isn't Magic. Witcher at least would fit, so I guess it's what you consider, what is it, what do they call it again? Magic Adjacent? It's Magic Adjacent, so it's in that same realm of fantasy, just like, you know, like Lord of the Rings, or Final Fantasy, or Avatar. They're acceptable. They're acceptable. Alright, we're running out of time here, so... Alright, we probably might have to hit the reset button here. So in order to do that... Okay, Underground Mortuary. We surveil. Okay, Lotus Corp is not bad. We'll keep that on top. So here's how we're going to do this. We'll swing now. Just going to get in our, you know, go for broke. Okay, opponents. Blocking and blocking. That Battery Rebirth will do its thing, but I need to reset the board. I don't want to, though. But we don't have a choice. Okay. Blow away 2 creatures. That does trigger the Battery Rebirth, unfortunately. Okay, Earthbending does its thing. Okay. Land comes back. Does more shenanigans. And then at that point, Damnation. Alright, hard resets. Put it back into our hand. I didn't want to, but I got to stay alive a little bit longer. Okay, so at least for here. Gain the 4 life from Blec. So at least now we get a little bit of life back. Not much, but it's something. Better than nothing. Alright, so they still do their Earthbend shenanigans. Okay. Dang. So... Maybe that actually might have screwed me over here. Okay, so that's what? 14? No, we're dead next turn, aren't we? Okay, opponents. You got us. Okay. Other stuff, they swing. Go to 1. Man, that Earthbane shenanigans actually was not good in our favor. Okay. That's Brute Sloth. Not for any real value at this point, but we'll sacrifice and get 2 tokens off of that. That's pretty much over. Can't survive. Yeah, what a shame there. I guess I didn't realize until it was afterwards. I was like, wait, blowing away the Beifong actually hurt us a lot more than I thought, but okay. Yikes. Never actually got a chance to play with the card. A lot more stronger than I thought it was. It's okay, though. Not a big deal. Just shake it off. We just play again. No big deal, everyone. Dragon Yoshi. The lesson would definitely be a green-black multicolor. Dense Planet. Demir Quandrix is going to calculate the ways to acquire or cards for math equation. Is that the one that's called Therex in the upcoming what is it? The fractures. Wow, I cannot think right now. My brain is just like completely like. Any case, okay. Words are hard, by the way. What was it? The reality fracture. That's what I was trying to say. Wow, for some reason my brain could not figure that out. Okay. Any case, let's see here. This is risky to have. I gotta make sure I actually get lands. Okay. Well, this is fine. We can make this work. All right. For now, play the Swamp Stone Coil Serpent for 1. So, protection for multicolored, which against Galarb is. That's actually pretty good, right? Okay. Bachuka Bog. Well, that's a waste. But okay. That helps us out. That's their turn 1 play. That's good for us. Llanowar Waste. We will Farseed. We will get out our Mortuary now. We Surveil. Southwind Avatar. We'll keep that on top. Swing. We also have a Force of Vigor, so we can actually blow away some stuff real quick in a pinch. Okay. Bristly Bill. Oh, I can't stick around, opponents. I'm going to feel so dirty doing this, but I've been blown away by so many Bristly Bills. You know what? It's time for my revenge. So, finding the old gods. Say goodbye to that opponent. Nice. We swing here. Down to 23. All right. We're ramping faster than our opponent now. That's good. If I really want to complete nasty here, I could hit them with the smallpox. But we'll see what they do. They played right now their Explore. Did they get a land? They did get a land. Okay. All right. Dark Ritual. Ooh, Dark Rituals. That's good too. So for here, we will get out our forest. That's tapped. Dark Ritual. Bring in our Blec. We have a little bit more mana left open, so let's see. Life discards card. Not quite yet. Down to 22. Okay. Southwind Avatar will be ready to go in next. Here comes Glarb. Okay, so we have a couple ways we can do this here. We get Death Touch, which is nice. Southwind Avatar. Also nice. It's tempting to say, well, I don't know. We swing here. 3 damage. We will then play Smallpox. Does this actually work? Or does our opponent have a counter? Let's see. Dense Bud. In Reality Fracture, we are getting White Liliana. But she is going to be a baddie, if you know what I mean. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so from here, what do we blow away that we don't... I guess it's going to probably be a swamp. Okay. Okay, we gain that life. That does trigger off everything. Okay, so now we got a nice little set of beefcakes here. Our cute little beefy loaf. And our cute little beefy spirit snake avatar. Sure. Prismatic Vista. Alright. We will play the Prismatic Vista. So Glarb, unfortunately, still can be destroyed, so... I don't want to do this here. How swings yet? We'll wait. We need some more value. We need like a card draw engine. Where's our card draw engine at? Wait, did I put one in this deck? I don't remember now. Head Shredder. Okay. Opponents. Do you turn it on? Maybe? Yes? No? Do they surveil? They do surveil. Okay. But that leaves them wide open. Okay. Head Shredder doing its thing. Okay. Opponents? Anything else? I am also looking for Dense Planet, the White Liliana. That's got to be a good card. I'm pretty sure that's going to probably be like... I'm going to say it right now. I bet you she's going to be broken. Old School Liliana, still good. Not as strong as she used to be, but she's still a really solid card. So, we'll see what our opponent does. We may sacrifice a permanent. Or we can gain 5 life. 9-11. So, don't want to do this, but we probably don't have a choice here. So we will sacrifice our Mortuary. Draw 2. There we go. We got now our black market connections, which is great. And let's see. We'll save that. We can dismember if we need to quick. But the black market connections alone helps us out a ton. Okay, opponents. If they have an answer, we can blow them away if we need to here. Okay, so what does our opponent do? Sleep. Okay. That locks the stuffer away. That's annoying. Okay. Huh. They still surveil with Glarb. Interesting. Okay. Head Shredder doing Head Shredder things. So we're completely wide open right now. So if our opponent had something to swing with, they could have done it now. But I know what they're trying to do. Okay. So there we go. Case of the Locked Hot Horse. That solves things. Okay. Okay, opponent there. Dragon Yoshi, you could go Phyrexian Arena or Necro Dominance for draw. That is true, too. I mean, Phyrexian Arena is cheap enough right now where anybody can pretty much throw it into any deck they want. Pay the 4. Get rid of Glarb, so Glarb's down. So that does buy us a little bit of time. Black market connections, honestly, because we wanted to, every time we do these decks, Yoshi, we always try to, once we go to the upgraded, we try to go for the most powerful version. And definitely this is very powerful if we can get it to go off. Although, we're going to lose a lot of life, so we got to be careful too. Okay. End the turn there. Okay, so we have a fountain port, which is nice. So at this point now, I think the game plan is to either start drawing cards, we start making more tokens, whatever we need to kind of close out this game. We're close. We're definitely close. Traveling Chocobo. Okay. I forgot we actually did play with Glarb when Bloomburrow came out. I did like the card, though. It's fun. And it does leave you wide open for you don't need to make it like a frog deck. You can go with like big stuff. Okay. They get their card draw engine going. Joy. Opponent. Anything else? Anything else, opponents? Fatal Passage, okay. Sacking it. I suppose we could also sacrifice our stuff to make sure we can get more value too. We'll see. Ideally, what we just need is a way to start generating value. We need to start getting stuff out. Okay, Mossborn Hydra. That's a big threat against their land shenanigans. So, I don't know. We're going to try. Okay, they pay for the Wooded Foothills. So now I realize we can't really blow up their stuff because we're going to just make their Mossborn Hydra a little too big. Yeep! Is that it, opponents? Do they turn on the Head Shredder? They could if they want to. Okay, they do. Okay, Head Shredder doing its thing. Because they want to start pumping up Mossborn Hydra from what I see. Opponents, alright. They mill 2 cards. They get some more landfall shenanigans off of that. Okay. We do have ways of trying to survive, so we'll do what we can here. They gain all the card draw in the world. Okay, so right now we are actually at a point where things are looking a little iffy because that Mossborn Hydra is a big threat to us. We will, let's see, we got to do this now. Make a fish token. Make our cute little fish token. This is what's going to help us survive. Okay. Block with the fish. Okay, we lose it. That does trigger off Southwind Avatar, so everything does get pumped up. Opponents? But they have all the cards in the world, so with 2 mana open, do they have anything to answer our plan? Anything at all? Anything, opponents. Okay, so we get some life back. Drain them out for 1. Stuff does get pumped up. That is nice. Okay, so are they at the end step right now? Opponent, what else you got? Here it is, some Vine Lasher, okay. Oof. Okay, finally our turn. So, let's see. Well, we can't really do anything here. So, okay, opponent's got to throw away cards. A lot of cards, by the way. But they could be set for success this next turn. It all comes down to this, everyone. Can we draw into what we need? Come on, deck. Show me some love. We need something to stop this. Teacher's Pest. Okay, so we'll draw another card, make another mercenary. I mean, they already have a 64/64. We might as well just burn up our life now. Okay, Deadly Dispute. So let's see. Yami Vaya. So at least now we have perfect fixing. Teacher's Pest. Let's see. Alright, well. We gotta do this. Okay, draw some more stuff. That does pump up everything. Down to 20. Draw more cards. Cast summonings. Okay, well, it's not horrible. Pest summonings. Make 2 tokens. Okay, so at this point now it's go for broke time. Yeah. I know I'm gonna lose, but I'm gonna try to at least try to get a little bit more damage out of them. If I'm gonna die, might as well go out swinging. Okay. Gain that life back, which is nice normally, but that's just not enough. Okay, even with everything we could sponge, we just couldn't stop that Hydra. If we only got to our spot removal, we could have stopped that Hydra, but that was the one thing that held us back from getting this victory. That's a bit of a shame. That's okay, though, everyone. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. No big deal. I know our upgraded deck can get a victory or 2 here. We can definitely do it, everyone, so we're going to keep trying just a little bit longer. And as we're gearing now towards the 3/4 mark of the live stream, again, as a friendly reminder, everyone, if you are enjoying the content, whether you enjoyed our budget decks that we do, no matter how janky they may be or how silly they may turn out, if you are a fan of the content, if you do want to see anything else on the channel, support me and show some love by making sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content. If you don't want to miss out on anything else, be sure to check me out whether you're watching live across X, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitch. We try to stream at least 2 times a week. And if you want to do anything beyond that, we do have a Patreon page where we do try to add up some exclusive content, some behind-the-scenes little full videos of gameplay that don't always get fully made into videos. Or again, we'll try to do some more unique stuff that doesn't always attribute directly to Magic. So sometimes we do some live streams that are exclusively going to be added to there that you guys may get a chance to check out later on. Your support, no matter what you do, however, will help keep the channel going. So if you have nothing else, you can also support us for free by joining our Discord. And all links for these things will be located in the details below once we are done with today's stream. But either way, thanks again, everyone, for always being here, and appreciate all of you, whether you've been watching from day one or you're watching just as of today. Appreciate all the love, everyone. Okay, now that I got my shilling out of the way, let's see here. We got 2 lands, got the Dismember, got the Tend Pest, Annihilating Glare for removal, Venom's Changeling. Professor here, Delian Fell will be great if we can just only get to our 2 extra lands. 2 more lands and we can get this going. Hold on one second. Opponent, however, is playing with... Oh, Kotus again. All right, so I'm only going to keep this hand because Dismember blows away the Kotus. That's our number one thing that hurts them the most, is -1/-1 abilities. All right, so we're going to wait. Kotus is fun, but, man, it's such an annoying card to fight. That Indestructible makes him very tough if you do not have answers for him. But okay, let's see. Opponent. What you got? Show me what you got, opponent. Nothing. Swinging for 1. Anytime now, opponents. Anytime now. Anytime now, opponents. Tumbleweed's just going to be flying by right now. Hi, my good sir. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Sneaky Toilet. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Thanks again for joining us today. Appreciate you popping in, my man. Opponent has declared an attack and is not doing the damage yet. So we're just kind of just sitting here, what it feels like sitting on my hands, just waiting for something to happen. Finally. Okay, there we go. Down to 24. Not trying to sound impatient, but sometimes I just wonder, like, okay, are you lagging, or is something else happening? Just trying to figure out what our opponent is trying to do. So can't play anything yet. Once we get to 3 mana, then we can actually start getting the fun rolling. So let's see. Come on, deck. Give me... I just need 1 land drop. 1 land drop in this next draw here, and we should be solid. Buster Sword, okay. Interesting choice for the deck. But I think because with Kotus and how he does things, that's going to be a hard thing to take. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, phew. Okay, so Pest Infestation. We'll do it this way, actually. We need to blow away that now. That can't stick. So there we go. Got our pests. Hold on, you're coming to Twitch? Okay. Wherever you want to watch me, I still appreciate it. Although, last couple of streams, I realized, oh man, Twitch fumbled, because our last couple of streams that went to Twitch, ended up getting truncated. Like, I realized, like, the stream on there kind of cuts it, for some reason, awkwardly, like, halfway through. So only, like, 30 minutes of the 2-hour stream actually came alive. But the full stream, thankfully, did manage to go up on YouTube, so that's nice, but still annoying that that happened. All right, Blec, Loafing Pest. Let's see, do we want to attack at? Not yet. So whatever opponent puts down now, we got to time it right. If we can do that right with Dismember, man, oh man, that's going to be hilarious. We just got to make sure our opponents... Okay, Assassin's Trophy. Oh, opponents. All right, that is annoying, but we will take at least the land drop, so at least that guarantees us a land, which is what we like. Okay, get a swamp, actually. And we'll put that back into the command zone. So thank you, opponent, for the ramp. Appreciate that. Opponents. Okay. Block here. Tend the pest itself. So ironically, we sacrifice one pest to make a new pest. How late are you for today's stream? I mean, we're going to be playing at least maybe for like another 20-25 minutes, Sneaky Toilet. So you'll at least be here to at least see maybe like 1 or 2 games left. We're not done yet, so don't worry. You'll still be fine. Let's see. Do we want to do this now? We'll do this now. Professor Delian. We're going to play this guy. I want to play this guy at least once today.
It's Professor Delian fell. Thank you.
Ooh, okay. Well, la-di-da there. Okay.
Only sting for a moment.
Okay. He sounds very prestigious. So thankfully, because of his ability, we can ultimate on the next turn with him, which is actually pretty wild of a Planeswalker. He has 4 abilities, too. I feel like people are sleeping on this Planeswalker. He actually seems a lot more stronger than he looks. Okay, Virtual Persistence. Okay, it's fine. Annoying. We gain life, though. That's okay. Okay, opponents. Strategic. Okay. Okay, so they exile our graveyard, and they get rid of things. So they're going to try to start stealing stuff with Codas. But if this works out the way I think it does, we should have a shot right here. Opponents, what do you swing for? You could get the free cards, or you could prevent Professor Delian from ultimating. Okay, so for this... Alright, so... do it that way. Dismember. Does this hit? Okay, good. We got him out of the way. Phew! Okay. Delian, sadly, does not ultimate this next turn. I mean, he can ultimate, actually, if we want to.
Do not interrupt me.
So let's see. We will... Actually, let's destroy the card. So Fungus goes bye-bye. We take him down. That's okay.
This is merciful.
Let's see. Shopkeeper's Bane. Dix's command actually would be pretty good next turn. So we'll put down right now Venomous Changeling. Okay. So that's good. We got those there. Simone. Okay. That's interesting. Opponent. 1 more card in hand. What else could that be? If it's this something that blows away shop. Okay. Epic Downfall. That's annoying. That's not the worst. Send in the pests. Let's get out Blec himself. Alright, so with that, we will tick up. That pumps up everything.
I have life essence to spare.
Gain some more life. There we go. Bam. Down to 21 opponents. And then we will... Annihilating Glare. Shopkeeper's Bane. Does die. Sorry, buddy. But we'll bring him back. We will bring him back. We just want to keep the board clear. If we can keep the board clear, then we should be good. Opponents. Virtual Persistence. Okay. Oh, okay. Here comes Codas. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. How do we want to do this here? Play Valentine. We will tick up again. Gain life. Pump up
The
there.
right spell turns poison to medicine.
Let's see. PX's command. Let's see. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures. Okay, so they do that. And then put... There we go. That should work. Shopkeeper's Bane comes back. Welcome back, buddy. Keeping away our opponent's stuff there. That's cool. Swing. Down to 15. Wow, we actually are keeping control of Codas this time. Nice. Usually I always end up struggling against this guy. Okay, Virtual Persistence is fine. Okay. Small blocks work against this? No, it doesn't. Okay, so... Ultimate. There we go. We will then
Consider
also...
this your expulsion notice.
Send in the Pest. Get a Pest off of that. Shopkeeper's Bane coming back. Big hit there. Down to 8. Gain that life. Drain him out. There we go. Okay. Opponent, they could bring stuff if they want you back. But we're in control right now. Oh, this is a good one. This is what you want the deck to do. Mythos of Brokos. Ooh. I haven't seen anybody play the Mythos in forever. Okay. Well, that's fine. Okay, Defense of the Heart. Get back 2 cards. Buster Sword, okay. That's fine. Put counters on that, alright. Okay. I'm sorry, opponents. We're going to play Containment Breach. Denied. We will tick up. Aw, opponent! Aw, we were going to get that win there. Okay. Well, that was a good one. Now, that's exactly what you want the deck to do. It took us a while to actually get a really good game there, but that one really showed how much stronger it can get if you really want to put in some effort into this. All right, all right. That was great. Okay. So, let's see here. Maybe we could squeeze in 1 or 2 more games, everyone, depending on how this looks. Depending on how the next couple of games look, we'll see what we can do here. I would like for us to get at least 1 more solid game in, but ideally, we'd like to get at least 2 more. Ooh, they're playing with Lathril. All right. Wow. Elves today. We're playing against a lot of black-green decks today. I don't know why, but okay. Sure, why not? GG's indeed, Sneaky Toilet. GG's. All right, play the Mortuary first. It's a little slow, but that's okay. Force of Vigor, we'll keep that on top. Just in case. Okay. Elvish Mystic first. No problem. Bring in the Faults. We'll play Valentine, the Dean of the Vein. Okay. Ideally, Pest Mascot here would actually be great. So we'll keep the Force of Vigor just in case. I don't know if they're actually going to play any stuff, because usually creature-heavy decks won't run these things, but that's okay. Pest Infestation. Okay. Can't play that, unfortunately. We'll still swing here. Our opponent's definitely not going to block, because that means they lose their stuff here. Alright. Okay. Come on, deck. Give me a land. Otherwise, this might be a non-game. Okay. Impervious perfect. Okay. Ugh. That pumps up their elves. We did play elves on the last stream, so if you want to check that out of how you can play it in Historic, I guess, you can try that out too. Realm. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. We're going to give it 1 more turn, everyone. Because right now, we're still... We're not dead, but we're not really doing anything. And our opponent's just going to start running away with this. Swing. Come on, deck. Please. Okay, we got a Mutavault. I guess that's something. Well, I guess Venomous Changeling comes in. Down to 22. So Lathril can't just swing. Well, actually, she can't swing. I forgot. But the other cards can't swing in all willy-nilly. Morrowind. All right. So I guess we'll keep playing this a little bit longer. But it's still not looking good. Okay, Morrowind gets bigger. Ugh. The Elf Wall plan is working. Opponent is making this look good. You get all those elves. Morrowind gets bigger. But yeah, if we don't get any more lands, we're going to be dead. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to... You know what? Actually, I'm going to just concede that now. Because looking at the fact that we could not draw into the lands and against elves, we're not going to snowball fast enough. Okay, that's fine. It's not a big deal, everyone. Dragon Yoshi. I have a few iterations of Blec, and Blec's for historic. There's a spider, snake, and pest insect one. So that's cute. You managed to actually do a little bit of everything. I like that. I like that. Okay. Looking at the clock right now, let's do it this way, everyone. I know it's going to be cutting it a little short, but this one right here, win or lose, will be the final game for the day, everyone. But don't worry. Once we are done with the final game here, as always, we will cover the deck tech overall, both the budget one and the non-budget one. We'll talk a little brief about, what was good, what was bad, what was ugly, and see maybe we can try to kind of give recommendations if you do like what the deck is doing, about what you can consider if you kind of want to put your own spin on it. If you do like the decks as they are, again, I will leave, of course, links for these in the details below once the live stream is over. But otherwise, after that, we'll then cover the future of what we're going to be planning for the next couple of live streams and decks themselves. And once again, like, what's with all the Golgari decks today? Was this the day where everyone wanted to play black-green with me? Well, maybe I picked the wrong day for this, but okay. You know what? Why not? We're still going to do it. Win or lose, it doesn't matter, everyone. We're still going to make this work. We have Gorma, so we got all of our pests ready to go. But we just need to find a way to pin down our opponent here. Play this tap since we got nothing on turn 1. No big deal. Cauldron Familiar. Okay, so they already got the cat shenanigans. So if we need to, in a pinch, we have a Force of Vigor to blow away whatever artifacts or shenanigans they got. Forest, all right. At least we are overloaded on artifact and enchantment hate with the deck. At least, if nothing else, that's good. Okay, they play there. Kitty cat. We go to 23. Okay. Okay, Bajuga Bog. Normally this would be great later on if the cat was in the yard, but we get no value. Sadly. Okay, opponent. Rogue's Passage. Is that going to be a problem for us later on? I guess we'll find out. Let's see. Play Gorma first. Look at how cute she is. She's a cute little pesty here. So cute. Arcbound Condor. Alright. That's something actually we don't worry too much about. No blocks. So for here, might as well do this now. Force of Vigor. And then, actually, what do we throw away here? I guess it might be the Terra Sunder. It kind of does the same thing. There we go. Out of the way. That's what we wanted. Because now Blec comes in. So Blec and Gorma, two besties here. Bestie pesties, if you will. Ah? Ah? There we go. There's my laugh. They actually do go very well together. Other opponents still do their thing. Okay. Moseo, okay. I guess we'll play Moseo. Why not? Get our pests. There we go. Big damage coming in. Pumping up all of our pests. So far, so good. Spiraling Sanctuary. Ooh, okay. Improvise. We still have plenty of artifact and enchantment hate anyway, so opponent, I'm sorry, but this is not going to go well for you. All right. Not too bad, right? And it can't block thanks to the alchemy nerf, so I'm going to take full advantage of that here. Down to 4. And the pests just keep coming. Oh, yeah. Now, this is not going to be a nice, big blowout here. I kind of feel a little bad because our opponent didn't really get a chance to do anything, but Igra also is a broken card, so we played it enough to know that if we could stop it here now, which we did, we can get our victory nice and easy. All right, all right. Victory. And that was a nice, big, smashy way to get to our win. Okay, so that's it, everyone. Let's now cover, of course, the deck as a whole, the good, the bad, and the ugly for our deck today. So, our Pest Fest, everyone. A budget deck for the Brawl format. Ooh, let me actually open our pack real quick. Let's see, what do we get? What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? Geometer Arthropod. I realize we still need to put together a Quandrix deck, so maybe we could do this for the future. Note to self on that. But okay, so that was Pest Fest, everybody, for the format. So what do you think, everyone? Do you like the deck? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? To be honest, I probably would maybe kind of re-sculpt the deck a little bit more. I feel like I did enjoy what we had, but also the budget version felt kind of clunky in some slots. I don't know if maybe I went a little too hard with just the pests, but I guess if you want to go more practical, you probably should, on a budget, try to spread yourself out among pests, the bats, the insects, the snakes and spiders. Just get yourself whatever you can that's the most efficient options for you. What does help if you want to go with pure insects, pure pests, bats, or whatever is, in these colors, you do have options like the changeling cards, kind of help out round out some of the stuff that your main version of the deck just doesn't have enough of. So I will appreciate the fact that cards like Chomping Changeling here, Rooftop Percher if we didn't play it, or Webweaver Changeling here, the changelings can provide for you the extra support the deck is kind of missing. Cards like Realm Walker can be good, but we don't have enough pests, at least not like permanent versions of pests, for Realm Walker to do justice. So cards like this, maybe I would swap out for like a Phyrexian Arena for more consistent card draw, things like that. I mean, you can kind of mix and match what you want. Cards that do help shine if you actually want to go stick with just like the token option with pests or insects or whatever, cards like Mirkwood Bats will definitely speed up your clock a lot more. Cards that can actually also help you gain life. So we didn't talk about this, but you can actually go with more life stuff if you want to. So things that'll help you gain life and just kind of help you with that. Life gain shenanigans. Cards that are also going to like drain out your opponent. Life linking things. If you want to go more reanimator stuff, you totally can with the deck. Otherwise, what is it? Well, hold on. What do we got here? What do we got? I was going to say Shadow Spear also would be great for you to turn off their hexproof and indestructible stuff. Also giving yourself lifelink is really nice. I know I don't have in the deck any actual protection, but if you want to go with the protection route, I mean, you can go with the standard. Hold on. I can't spell, everyone. So Lightning Greaves can be good for you to protect Blec if you want to make sure Blec doesn't die while you try to do your shenanigans there. Stuff like that can help you out there. But there's definitely different ways you can go with this. The budget ones felt good, but definitely, as you saw today, if you really want to go all out, you definitely will shine with the upgraded version today. Again, it's not the most perfect, most streamlined build, but it was the build that I liked and the one that I wanted to play with. I will say, even though we didn't get a chance to play with him too much, Professor Delian Fell, really good for the deck. Really feels great. Great synergy with him with the gaining life, the destroying creatures. The emblem alone would definitely blow away your opponent. Gorma, oh, I like her too. I actually probably would even go so far as to say you can use her as an alternative commander if you want to swap out Blec for Gorma. They go well together. They really are bestie pesties. Sorry, I got to get those cheesy jokes in when I can, everyone. But yes, but Gorma here, great with Blec. I didn't get a chance to really try it out, but I actually also wanted to try, hold on 1 second. Where is she at? So Dina, you could use as well. She's not necessarily specific for, actual, like she's not specifically for a pest deck. She's mostly just sacrifice in general. But if you want to use her, that's totally fine. I mean, I do like what she does though. But that's another option for you if you want to play around with it. If you're going to play more non-token stuff, if you want to stick to like permanents, you could use cards like Journey to Eternity to then bring them back over and over again. If you want to go more the insect route, you have cards like Grista Hunger Tide. We didn't get a chance to play with them. Or if you want to do snake stuff, you have Farika here. If you want to do more other things with these, like, what is it? The Swarm Weaver also makes insect tokens for you. You have a lot of options if you want to choose other creature types. If you want to go with more of the sacrifice stuff, you have Daemogoth Titan here. Culling Ritual will also be good for you. There's a lot of stuff you can kind of play around with. The one thing I probably will admit that maybe I went a little too overboard on is the main deck here went a little overboard with all of the artifact and enchantment hates. You probably don't need as much as I did, but I wanted to overload it because there's been many matches where I got blown away for them. So if you want to, you could swap out cards like Terror Sunder if you want more ramp for the deck. If you want to do other things that maybe you want to, sacrifice. If you want to stick to tokens, you have plenty of options. If you want to go with +1/+1 counter stuff also, and I'll kind of leave it upon this before we kind of get to the finale here. Like other things you can do is hardened scale. So if you wanted to go with more counter shenanigans, if you want to protect yourself a little bit more, you got cards like Veil of Summer. This, again, I can go on all and all day, but if you want to, there's plenty of options with Blec here, so don't feel like you have to stick to just these options, but play around with these creature types, focus on the +1/+1 counter stuff. If you want to go wide, you got token shenanigans galore. If you want to go with +1/+1 counters, lifelink shenanigans, there's plenty of things you can do with this. So I do like the card. I like what the deck is trying to do here, and you can play around with it too. Whatever you want to do, there's lots of options to it. So it's a very wide open commander, so I love him. I love him for what he does. But now, before we get to the very end point today, and if of course you stuck around to this far into the live stream, thanks again for being a true fire friend and being also dedicated to watching me. So before we go, here's what we're going to be going with the next couple days. So the sneak peek for what's coming up in the future. So we have a Silver Quill's Lessons deck, but I actually haven't, I don't know. I like the deck, but honestly, there's a deck that caught my eye even faster than that. There was a Silver Quill aggro deck that has now been chomping around in the standard format, and I think we're going to make a full deck tech around this on a budget. So we're going to actually do a budget version of this. I still need to fill out the sideboard, but we'll be doing another deck tech that's focused on standard because it's been a little while since we've done a standard deck. So we're going to go over our Silver Quill aggro deck for you guys. I'm actually excited for this one. I played it a bit, and I actually love what the deck is trying to do. So that'll be our next deck tech, which will be focused on that. Otherwise, we're still playing around with the Lorehold deck that I want to make also for our next deck tech, so that's also a work in progress too. Still playing around with it a little bit here, but I think I might have it almost done. It is a little clunky, but we're going to see if we can try to refine it a bit more to make it actually work on a budget. Otherwise, beyond that, we're still going to try to finish off, of course, the rest of the colleges before we get to Marvel. But otherwise, so that means that we need to hit the 2 Quandrix decks, a deck tech and 60 card, and maybe like a Brawl deck for Quandrix. We do need to I'm trying to think right now, what are we missing here? We still need to do a Prismari live stream, so I'll probably do the Prismari one coming up maybe this weekend. Most likely it'll probably be Friday, but we'll see what we can do time-wise. But we still have those all coming up, everyone. We are almost done with that. If we have time after that, we're still going to, of course, do our basically decks. So we're going to try to do one around both of these. They're not going to be specifically Strixhaven, but that's kind of what I started with. But we could play around with that a little bit more. Either way, those are coming up soon. And then anything else that we're going to be looking at to the future, I have a horse deck that I actually really want to show off with you guys. So we might try to do that maybe as a live stream, just a random one to kind of fill in between the sets. So as we finish up Strixhaven, but Marvel isn't quite revealed yet. Maybe we'll do like a horse deck here, a mono white one. It's actually pretty fun, honestly. But we'll see if we can get that done. Otherwise, I mean, whatever we come up with, we'll do it. Maybe we'll do a draft also in the future before we finish up Strixhaven. We have at least 1 draft token, so I do want to use that on live at least once. But for now, that's going to be it for me today, everybody. So thanks one more time to everyone that did stick out for me for today. Oh, let's give, of course, a shout out to everyone that's been watching me for today. So shout out to, of course, all of you. Den Splendid and always being there for me. Appreciate you. Juby Sisters, thanks again for putting in your little comment there. And you are correct about the Soul Ring being a little overrated. So appreciate that. Chris Grainer, thanks also for bringing that cute little comment there. Pest Eats Forever, thanks again for that. Dragon Yoshi 1, also appreciate you being here as well. Also Sneaky Toilet, thanks again for popping in as well near the end, but I appreciate you still being here just the same. And I didn't get a chance to see this, but we did get a new follower. So also we have Uenu, let's see. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to try my hardest, everyone. So what's it? It says, you gangster X8. I'm sorry, I butchered that. But again, you did add me as a follow, so thanks again for that. And I appreciate you being here as a new follower friend, for being here. Yes, so thank you. But otherwise, I'm so tongue-tied right now. I need to get some food just because my head's kind of falling apart here. But in case, that's it for today, everyone. Thanks again, as always, for being here. I appreciate all of you. And we're going to try to do this again Friday afternoon, so that should be a lock-in for sure, everyone. So until then, enjoy the rest of your week. The midweek Magic event should be starting in just a few minutes, so check it out. Have fun with that, everyone, and we'll get a chance to do this again at the beginning of the weekend. But until then, before I go, as always, I want to leave you with one more important thing that I always like to leave with everybody. Just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We will see you again Friday, everyone. Later.